instrument sounds great, but it's the wrong note on a chord. And oh, I see, it's not the wrong note. It's actually, there's a more complicated explanation for it. So what I always recommend for everybody that wants to play jazz, you need to make a project for yourself of finding a handful of favorite musicians for yourself. Hopefully on your instrument. Start with your own instrument. Can I just, I'm not going to go around the room and ask everybody, but a show of hands, I'm curious, do people have somebody like that? And keep in mind, before you raise your hand, I'm talking about somebody that you like really like, it's almost like a musical soulmate that you just really check out, listen to them, and you're like, wow, yeah. And you've really heard a lot of them. So, any hand? Margot?
Well, Trombone Shorty.
Right on. Trombone Shorty is great. That's not, I didn't know that. Wow. I know her, but I didn't know that. Any, yes? Joe?
Charlie Hayden.
I remember the other day you said Charlie Hayden, Sam Jones. That's amazing start. Yeah. Okay.
Chick Corea.
Chick Corea. Wonderful.
Coltrane.
Coltrane. Wow. These are some great names getting thrown around. Any others?
Dizzy.
Dizzy Gillespie. Yes. Thank you. Okay. And any more?
Grant Green.
Grant Green. Fantastic.
Bill Evans.
Bill Evans. Man. This, just hearing these names makes me happy, actually. That's how much of a jazz nerd I am. Any others?
Django Reinhardt.
Django. Wow. Wow. Yeah.
Sonny Rollins.
Okay. Sonny Rollins. Okay. So, if you have these people and they really speak to you in that way, then the next step is to really study their music, to really check it out. What I'm not talking about is having music on in the background, right? Like just you're washing dishes or something like that. That's cool. I'm not saying don't do that. That's great to just use music as atmosphere. But if you want to learn from this person, you have to study what they're doing. So studying it means, well, you tell me, what are some ways to study the music of somebody if you love their music? Yes?
Well, I had this as an assignment for a jazz class. We're supposed to, they have an artist and we listen to an album, and for each song we write like a couple sentences about the song and like how we liked it, just whatever we think about the song and like that.
That's great. I love that. Absolutely. Yeah.
For me, this isn't for everybody, but what I like to do, for example, I found Sonny Rollins, and what I did, I was like, Blue 7 is a really cool song. And then I was like, I wonder what the sheet music is for that. So I looked at the sheet music and I learned to play the song, and that's how I fully understand how Sonny Rollins kind of plays his music.
Wow. Fantastic. So you found a song that you like, chase down the sheet music to it. I mean, that couldn't be easier now. It's almost impossible to not find the written music for something now. That hasn't always been true, but 10 seconds you can usually find a lead sheet for almost everything you're interested in these days. Yes, Mukhtar?
You can transcribe a solo.
Wow, okay. Transcribe a solo. What does that mean exactly?
You take the solo and sort of by ear, write it down or memorize it or something like that so you can play it in the same way.
And I love how you said that. You write it down or memorize it or something like that, because there are so many different ways of transcribing. You can do it where you learn it, just singing it, and especially if you're not a singer, that's an interesting thing to do. And so you may not know what the notes are, but you can really, in time and in tune, you can sing along with it, right? For me, almost any solo that you put on of Clifford Brown and several other people, I'm going to be able to sing along with the entire solo. Just because I've listened to, I didn't even try, it's just over the years, it sinks into your bloodstream. But that's one way, singing along. Another way is learning it on your instrument you know, and kind of note by note, and you can use the amazing slow downer. You guys know about that, right? Or there's many okay, there's a lot of apps that you can get that will slow music down. By the way, does everybody know this? Because it's kind of a recent development. On YouTube, you can go to the little settings section of a video that you're listening to, and you can slow it down to 75% speed or 50% speed. And of course, it doesn't change the pitch; it just slows it down. I mean, it's just like handing it to you on a silver platter. Like if there's a phrase that you hear that's kind of complicated, and you want to slow it down and hear it, you don't even have to leave YouTube or buy an app or anything. Just on YouTube, slow it down to 50%, okay? And that's extremely slow when you do that. So that's another way of transcribing, is learning it on your horn and then writing it down, right? But I have a lot of students ask me, is that necessary? Do you have to write it down? No, you don't. You could just learn it on your horn, or if you're a singer, learn it with your voice. Make sure that you have it memorized, right? Like test yourself, or don't just do it over 1 or 2 days. Test yourself a couple of days later. Do I still remember it? Do I really have it, right? All three of those ways of transcribing are great. They all do different things. If you do write it down, you're going to learn so much about how to write music, like what are the rules for not crossing over from 2 to 3, all the rules of writing music. You'll learn that just step by step because you're trying to make your stuff make sense when you write it down. So that's a great thing, but it's not necessary just for transcribing. But as much as you can do by ear, and another question that students ask me a lot of time is, well, if we transcribe, do we have to do like a whole solo or a whole melody? No. If Ella Fitzgerald sings something, 2 bars that just knocks your socks off, and you're like, wow, that's great, learn those 2 bars. But really learn them, like not just like kind of casually and then you forget about it. Really learn them. See if you can sing it in other keys. See if you can figure out why does it sound good. What is she doing with the chords? Maybe go talk to a teacher about why does this sound so good, you know? But as much stuff as you can do by ear is vital to your jazz playing, because what you're trying to do is create an instant connection between your imagination and your instrument, with nothing to get in the way, that you can hear an idea and you can play it. And if the piano player behind you plays a chord that you didn't expect, you can hear, oh, wow, that had an E natural in it. I think I'm going to go with that.